Hi, performers and achievers. Welcome to Performers and Achievers Daily with me, Raj Gavurla. In today's episode is about the importance of an environment and culture workshop. An environment and culture workshop. So when do you use this? You use this when there are new people being added to your organization, your team. You use this when a manager or an employee is in a different department now than previously, or has a different role in a different division. You use this when someone may have been promoted to a position, either in the same business unit, same division, or into another business unit or division. And it seems like because you've already know what the company's values are, that's part of your onboarding, right? So they know the values, they know the mission, they know the vision of your organization, your company. However, within a company, there are teams. And yes, that's important that those are established. Those are the the foundation of your business, of your organization, of your company. However, what's also important is for you to be aware that within that organization, within that business, there are different teams. Within that company, there are different teams in different areas, what a lot of people call an org chart, organization chart. And sometimes companies, they adapt and make adjustments to those charts based on a lot of variables. And so here's why this is important to have an environment and culture workshop. First of all, you're having people come in who now do not know each other. They may have heard of each other, they might not have, or they may be new. And now you're asking them or want them or need them to work together. And so this is a challenge because it's not a plug and play situation. You're bringing in someone or more than one person. You're reorganizing. And now the dynamics are different, and you adapt and make slight adjustments. And the way you do that is by having an environment and culture workshop. What does this do? This has everyone being able to use their voice so they know that their voice is important. It also is beneficial because whomever is in charge and that's usually the person with the most responsibility as far as people reporting to them and them reporting to people in the organization hierarchy. They have their respectful professional communication leadership style. And a lot of those may have been carried over from what they were able to experience and apply the practical learning from their previous position. And so now they've brought that over with them to this new group. It's new to them. And the people who are in the group or on the team, this person is new to them. And so to work together, it's important to have an environment and communication workshop. What this does is it allows your department, your team, your whichever one you're on, to be able to work together. And you may think that, well, this is an additional expense. And not really, it's an investment. Because without this, this is where confusion occurs. This is where conflict occurs. This is where people, because they don't understand and it's different than how it used to be, there's more, instead of working together, they're competing against each other, trying to gain maybe attention or notoriety. And now, whomever is the person who's the manager or the director or whomever is now trying to make everyone somewhat heard and feel and felt, and they realize that, well, this is a lot more challenging than plug and play. And from this starts to get internal conflict, which can eventually lead, if there's not an environment and culture workshop put together so that everybody knows how to work together, could lead to a toxic environment and culture. So that's the importance of having an environment and culture workshop. So I ask you, because I have a customer who works for an organization, a company, been there 25 years, and previous manager is not there. They brought in a new manager, and the new manager has also been with the company for 7 years. However, he's coming from a different department, a different business unit. And so now all of these people are new to him. And of course, there's always new people coming in, or whenever, not always, but whenever there's a need for more employees. And so now I asked her, did they have an environment and communication workshop so that you all can work together instead of competing against each other? And her answer was no. And so now there's a lot of flux there. And it's not a situation that's what anyone's accustomed to, used to. It's not efficient and effective. And so, like most things, this can be prevented. How do you prevent it? By having an environment and communication workshop. so people know how to work together instead of competing against each other. People are there. You should have a role for each one of them. Since they're already there, they're on your team. Now, you may be making some adjustments to the role. However, that needs to be communicated with them. And again, this can happen also in the environment and culture workshop. And so, if you are experiencing something like this or want to prevent something like this and are interested in this, then this is something for you to look into. So, my bonus assignment for you is when there are people in a reorganization, or new people brought on board, sure, it's good to have an onboarding. However, once they get onto a team, whatever department or unit they're in the company, then that specific group, team, department, unit of the company, organization has its own environment and culture. So, what are some examples of an environment and culture workshop? Well, years ago, I was in a leadership program, community leadership program, and there's lots of ways to do it. It doesn't necessarily need to be this way, but this is one of the ways. They took us to a retreat, and part of the retreat was exactly this: the environment communication, or the environment and culture retreat. These are people, some of them knew each other, some of them didn't. Now they're coming together. This was approximately 50 people. And the whole retreat was designed around this to lay the structure, the foundation. And then, in addition, we had like a rope course. And you got to see how to work together and how to know who would want to or who to talk about how you'd approach a specific challenge. And there were guides there, so obviously it was safe. However, keep in mind, this is more than a ropes course. An environment and culture workshop can include a lot of those things. It could be a 1 day or 2 day event, half days on 2 days, or it could be a retreat where other activities are included, including the time to just socialize. So there's lots of good ways to do it. However, without doing an environment and culture workshop, it becomes very difficult to work together. And everybody naturally has their guard up because they don't know each other. And therefore, because they don't know each other, they don't know what each other's ways of working together are. And all of this is solved in an environment and culture workshop. That's the importance of an environment and culture workshop. And then also understanding that each person has their healthy boundaries, which are important to them because of whatever their situation is. And that's important also, so that we actually do work together. And by doing that, that's how you build sustainable relationships. That's how you're able to work together. That's how you're able to actually enjoy working together and they have those moments of fun. And that's how you become efficient and effective. And that's how you progress and make achievements and accomplishments. And it's meaningful. It matters to you. It's important to you. Your job is something that you know and have positive emotions and feelings about what you are achieving together, how you're working together, what you're accomplishing together. And sure, does that stop someone from not experiencing those things? Not necessarily. However, it provides them an avenue so that they can experience those things. And sure, some people will still leave. And that could be for lots of reasons. Sometimes it's family issue or family matters. There's just lots of different ways or reasons for someone who leaves. However, it should be a way to where, regardless of where they go, that there's a sustainable relationship that, maybe you do stay in touch and you stay connected, and who knows what will happen in the future. And that's what we're doing. We're enabling in a company the founder, the owner, the executives, the executive team, the management team, the managers, directors, managers, supervisors, frontline workers. That's what we're all doing. Working together as we're enabling dreams, we're enabling priorities, we're enabling clear goals, we're enabling most important tasks. Probably enabling each other's dreams. priorities, clear goals, and most important tasks. And in a way, that is the greater mission or greater purpose of a company, of an organization, with the people that you work together with, of the team that you're on, working together towards a mutual gain or common interests. Think about it. If you like my podcast, like it and comment in the comment section. For those of you who are interested in my private, personal, professional, confidential services and programs, visit my website, rajgavurla.com. Fill out the brief form, and we will contact you as soon as we can. Enjoy your day.